Now we have seen the basic theory of resolution. If the two objects are very close to each other, then they are observed, they are seen, just separated. When two distinct images are formed on the retina or on the optical instrument, this is the criteria. Two distinct images are formed. So, how we decide whether the two objects are resolved or not? That criteria was given by the scientist Rayleigh, and he has used the intensity distribution in the diffraction pattern of the object like this. So, diffraction phenomena can be related, can be correlated with the phenomena of resolution. Resolving power can be determined by using that relation. So, what is that Rayleigh's criteria for resolution? That now we to see. Rayleigh is the name of the scientist. Rayleigh's criteria for resolving power or resolution. For resolving power. In general, we know that the resolving power is inversely proportional to limit of resolution. There are two types of limit of resolution. One is a linear and other is a angular. So this angular limit of resolution, this term theta, it is used for telescope, and this linear limit of resolution, it is denoted by d distance, and it is used in microscope. आपल्याला ह्या दोघे इन्स्ट्रुमेंटचे रिझॉल्विंग पॉवरचे फॉर्म्युले लागणार डिराइव करायचे. रिझॉल्विंग पॉवर ऑफ मायक्रोस्कोप अँड रिझॉल्विंग पॉवर ऑफ टेलिस्कोप अशा दोन केसेस आपण बघतो. So before going to the microscope or telescope, let us see what is this criteria. When the two objects are said to be just resolved, unresolved, and well resolved, अशा तीन केसेस आपल्याला माहिती. Again, I will repeat the same example. When the car is at very long distance away, then we see the only one image of the headlamp. There are two headlamps, L1, L2, but we see only one image, so objects are not resolved. As the car approaches us, the two images start to get separated like this. Still they are not separated, they are overlapping with each other. Now, when the car approaches, the distance between the car and the observer decreases, then at certain distance, the two headlamps are seen just separated. This is just resolution, this is overlapping, unresolved. And again, if the car approaches to a very close distance, then the two lamps are seen separately. So this is the case of just resolution. The two lamps of the two headlamps of the car are just resolved. In this case, they are not resolved, unresolved. And in this case, they are well resolved. So we are related with this phenomenon. हेडलॅम्पचे दोन इमेजेस जे आपल्या आयच्या रेटिनावर तयार होतात ते जस्ट सेपरेट झालेले दिसले पाहिजे, याला जस्ट रिझॉल्व. तर हा क्रायटेरिया रॅलीने इंटेन्सिटी डिस्ट्रीब्युशन यूज करून सांगितलेला आहे. सो वी नो द इंटेन्सिटी डिस्ट्रीब्युशन पॅटर्न. सो दॅट पॅटर्न इज लाईक दिस. On y-axis we plot the intensity. So this is the central maxima. This is first minima, first maxima, like this. So this is the intensity distribution pattern. like this. Central magnetism having intensity I0, I1, I2, I3, I4. Intensity goes on decreasing for central magnetism, and for minima the intensity is same 0, 0, 0, 0, minimum intensity. First minima, second minima, third minima, first minima, second minima, third minima on left hand side. So using this intensity distribution pattern, Rayleigh has suggested the criteria, and the criteria has the statement like this. So I will use the statement of the Rayleigh criteria. Statement of the Rayleigh criteria. So according to this criteria, the two objects are said are just resolved. The statement is like this. According to this criteria, the two objects are just resolved. So condition for just resolution is given by Rayleigh like this. The two objects are just resolved when first minimum or secondary minimum. The first minimum of diffraction pattern of one object coincides with the central maxima of diffraction pattern of second object or other object. The first minimum of the diffraction pattern of the one object is coinciding with the one source coinciding with the central maximum of the diffraction pattern of the other source or other object. Then the two objects or the two sources from which we get the light are said to be just resolved. This is the statement. Now let us do the explanation. Explanation of Rayleigh's criteria. Explanation of Rayleigh's criteria. So now we are to explain this statement, and for that purpose we are using the Fraunhofer diffraction. Using Fraunhofer's diffraction. So this is the screen. This is the object O1, object O2, O1 and O2. They are separated by some distance. So here, for Fraunhofer diffraction, we are using a lens lens. So oval object will form its image. Now this is the aperture. This is the aperture of the lens. Diameter of the lens. Aperture means diameter of the lens. Now we know the image rule for image formation. This is the optic center of the lens. So the rays of light from oval, when they passes through the optic center, they passes undimmed. So this is the image P1. Now in this focal plane, this is the focal plane of the lens. Similarly, O2 from O2 its image is formed here, P2. So P1 and P2 are the images formed. So if this angle is alpha, then this is also alpha, because they are vertically opposite the angle. So this P1 is the diffraction pattern of the object O1 and P2 is the diffraction pattern of object O2. So the diffraction pattern of O1 is the like this one. This is the central maximum. This is the central maximum. This is the first secondary maximum, like this. So this is diffraction pattern of the intensity distribution pattern of the first object, like this. This is the central maximum. This is first minima, first secondary maximum, second minima. Now, according to this criteria, the first minimum, this is the first minimum. First minimum of the diffraction pattern of one object should coincide with the central maximum of the diffraction pattern. The ether P2 the central maximum. So the graph is like this. Again, this is the first minimum. Like this. On this side. Like this. So these are the two patterns shown by red color and this black color. So this is P1, P2, and this is P1. First minimum at this point, first minimum of diffraction pattern P1 and central maximum of P2 coincide each other. So these 2 points are important. I say, so this criteria is fulfilled like this. Now, if we change the separation between the two objects, then what will happen? So first I will give the explanation of this figure. O1 and O2 are self luminous objects, that is sources. P1 is equal to diffraction pattern of the source O1. P2 is equal to diffraction pattern of the source O2, like this. This is the thing on which, so this is the arrangement of Fraunhofer diffraction: source, lens, and to observe the intensity distribution we are using the screen. This is the basic arrangement of the Fresnel's diffraction. So when the lens is kept very very close, the distance is called as a d. Like this. Lens L is kept very close to O1 and O2 as shown in the figure. This is the lens L. P1, P2 are observed on screen, kept at distance equal to capital D from the lens, this D, like this. So these are the various distances. Now see the figure. This is the central maxima and this is the first minima. So this angular separation is denoted by θ1 and it is given by lambda upon E. This alpha is also equal to lambda upon E, like this. This distance is y. It is the distance of the first minima, linear distance, like this. So check the figure. So what is the condition that we can give like this? Lambda is equal to wavelength of monochromatic light emitted by both sources O1 and O2. So when first minimum of, see this point, first minimum of pattern P1, first minimum of pattern P1 coincides with central maxima of P2, then θ1 is equal to lambda upon E is equal to अँग्युलर सेपरेशन, आपण इथे डी घेतला होता, डी च्या इथे आपण ए सिम्बॉल घेतो. अँग्युलर सेपरेशन ऑफ फर्स्ट मिनिमम theta 1 is equal to this function. Now, if we consider this angle also in figure, alpha is equal to angular separation of O1 and O2 at optic center of the lens L. This, so this alpha is given by symbol. Alpha is equal to lambda upon A. So this is the equation 1, this is the equation 2. So for just resolution, for just resolution of object O1 and O2, object O1 and O2, the condition is alpha is equal to theta 1 is equal to lambda upon E star. This is the criteria. This is equation 3. This is equation number 3. So mathematically, you can give the condition for just separation like this. The angular separation of the two objects at the optic center alpha and this angular separation of the first minimum of the diffraction pattern, they must be equal. Now, what are the three cases when alpha is not equal to theta 1? Alpha is less than theta 1, what will happen? Now, when alpha becomes less than theta 1, this theta 1 is fixed because it depends upon the wavelength and the aperture. So, lambda and A are constant. Only this is the variable. We can change the distance. So, if O1 and O2, तर आपण हे दोन्ही ऑब्जेक्ट जर जवळ आणले तर काय अल्फा कमी होऊन जाईल. हा P2 खाली येईल आणि P2 खाली आला म्हणजे काय हा जो काही सेंटर मॅक्झिमम आहे तो पण खाली जाईल. म्हणजे सेंटर मॅक्झिमम ऑफ P2 आणि फर्स्ट मिनिमम ऑफ P1 दोघे कोणत्याच नाही होणार. दे विल ओव्हरलॅप. So the central maximum will overlap each other and therefore no resolution is possible. So in this case, unresolved means alpha is less than theta 1. Alpha less than theta 1. This is equal to alpha is equal to theta 1 and this is alpha greater than theta 1. Theta 1 is fixed. Why? Because we are not changing the length. So A is constant aperture. We are not changing the wavelength. So lambda and A are constant. Therefore theta 1 is constant. But A is this. Alpha is variable. जर आपण ऑब्जेक्ट जवळ आले तर अल्फा कमी होऊन जाईल. हा अल्फा कमी झाला म्हणजे हा अल्फा कमी होऊन जाईल म्हणजे P2 खाली येईल. So P1 and P2, central maximum of P1 and P2 will coincide each other and there is a case of like this, unresolved case. So there are three cases of this equation. So let us see these three cases. Case number 1. When alpha is less than theta 1, then central maxima of P1 and P2 coincide or you can say overlap. Therefore, no resolution. No resolution. Now, When alpha 1 is equal to theta 1, this criteria is satisfied. Case number 2. When alpha is equal to theta 1, then Rayleigh's criteria is satisfied, and O1 and O2 are just resolved. And case number 3. Case number 3. When alpha is greater than theta 1, then the two maxima, the central maxima of P1 and P2 are well separated. Therefore, O1 and O2 are seen well resolved. Unresolved, just resolved, and well resolved. So, depending upon the separation between the two objects, if O1 and O2 are brought close to each other, then alpha will decrease, P2 will come down. So when P2 comes down, this P2 and P1 central maxima will coincide each other. This criteria is not satisfied, the objects are not resolved. When O1 and O2 are separated like this, so when alpha is equal to theta 1, this alpha is equal to theta 1. Angular separation of the two objects at the length is equal to the angular separation of the first minimum of the each diffraction pattern. Then this criteria is satisfied. The first minimum of one object coincides with the central maximum of the other object. The first minimum of the second object coincides with the central maximum of the first object. So vice versa is also possible, and therefore in this case Rayleigh's criteria is satisfied, and therefore O1 and O2 are seen just resolved like this. So unresolved, just resolved, and well resolved. आपण हे हेडलॅम्पचं एक्झाम्पल घेतलं होतं, तेच आपण इथे यूज करतो. So these are the 3 special cases, sir. So objects are well resolved or completely resolved in this last case like this. So criteria for resolution is satisfied like this. So here we are using O1 and O2 as the self-luminous objects. Self-luminous objects means they are stars or slits like this. So what is meant by self-luminous objects? That we can use the example. Star, slits are self-luminous objects. They are also called as bright objects. And non-self-luminous objects means dark objects. So bright objects and dark objects, these are the two cases. Now, how we decide the objects are just resolved or not? So for that purpose, this Fraunhofer diffraction pattern, Rayleigh's criteria are again explained by using the iris disk and ring pattern. So what is that pattern that now we have to see? Now practically, how this Rayleigh's criteria is used for resolution phenomena, that we have to see by using iris disk and ring pattern. So this iris and disk pattern is used for a resolution of 2-point objects. for resolution of 2-point objects. So what is this iris disk pattern? So experimental arrangement is very very small. Suppose this is a screen. It is having a pinhole. Pinhole with aperture A. This is the aperture. Aperture A is of the order of micrometer. On this side, S is a monochromatic source. So it produces the light of wavelength lambda. So when this light passes through the pinhole, then when lambda is comparable with the aperture E, then light passing through pinhole is diffracted and the diffraction pattern consists of, in this case, A is a aperture diameter of pinhole. Lambda is equal to wavelength of the light. So through this hole the light get diffracted and the diffraction pattern is like this. At the center there is a bright disk. It is surrounded by dark ring, then again bright ring like this. These are the concentric rings. So this is iris diffraction pattern. This is the iris disk. Center. This is a central bright disk. Center bright. And these are the iris ring. Iris ring. So these are bright rings. Sorry, this is bright dark. These are the concentric dark ring. Dark ring. These are concentric bright ring. So this is called an iris disc pattern, like this. So this above figure shows the iris disc and ring pattern due to the single pinhole, whose diameter is of the order of micrometer, so lambda is comparable with A. Now this iris disc pattern consists of central bright disc. This is the central bright disc, and it is surrounded by alternate concentric dark and bright ring. So this is bright disc, this is surrounded by dark, then again bright dark, like this. हे जसं आपल्याला रिपल टँक ॲक्शनमध्ये अरेंजमेंट मिळते तशीच इथे पण अरेंजमेंट मिळणार आहे. लक्षात. So now if we are using two holes instead of one hole, then each hole will produce the iris diffraction pattern. So these two patterns are shown. This blue color pattern is produced by hole H1, this red color pattern is produced by hole H2. Now if we change the distance between the two hole H1 and H2, then these two pattern will also change their position. If H1 and H2, distance between H1 and H2 is decreased, then these two pattern will come close, and the condition for the criteria given by Rayleigh is satisfied like this. So the criteria is like this. According to Rayleigh's criteria, the two pinholes, or you can call it as a point of place, two pinholes H1 and H2, two pinholes, that is two point objects or point sources are said to be just resolved, are said to be just resolved. Just resolved. The condition is like this. When first dark ring, it is the first dark ring. The first dark ring of the diffraction pattern of one source darkening means a minimum diffraction, first darkening of diffraction pattern of one source coincides with the central bright disk coincides with central bright disk of another diffraction pattern. Another diffraction pattern of other source. So the condition is satisfied like this. Suppose this is the central disk. I am showing the figure magnified. This is the first byte ring. Like this. So first minima of the first diffraction pattern coincides with the central maximum of the another diffraction pattern. Criteria is same, but only we are explaining in terms of the disk and ring pattern like this. So this is the criteria. The two sources are the pinholes H1 and H2 are just a result. Sorry. The condition can be shown by figure like this. This is the first dark ring of P1 and this is central bright disk of P2. So there are two diffraction patterns P1 and P2 and the criteria is like this. The first darkening of one diffraction pattern coincides with the central bright disk of the another diffraction pattern like this. So this red color shows the diffraction pattern of P2 and this shows the diffraction pattern of P1 like this. So blue color means P1 and this is P2. P2 and this is P1 like this. So this criteria is fulfilled like this. So this iris disk pattern can be used to decide whether the objects are resolved or not. Now if the distance between the two sources decreases, then the two pattern will overlap, the two central brightness will overlap like this. So the criteria remains the. Next time we will use this criteria, Rayleigh's criteria, to decide the resolving power of telescope and microscope, like this. Okay, we'll stop here.